2011. I end up re-meeting up
All right,
with Mr. Wells.
we'll get to 2011 and 2011. Let's go back to 2002, three. So
Okay.
you're with those guys. The group breaks
Yeah.
up. You've now established your network and whatnot.
Yes.
Well,
Okay. So by that time, I start working with other studios.
so is this like you would like? Are you like engineering then in other people's studios? Like it was almost like they had the space and you
Uh,
would show up, or are you like making beats
I would.
there? Or
Nah. I guess you could say I was more like a Diddy. I would come to your studio sessions, to different artist studio sessions, and help their studio session make it even better, make their song better than what No, redo this part, make it sound more like I've been coaching different artists like in regards to that since I was recording back in RBR's time, 2000 and like, 2003, 2004. So
so
I understand artistry of how you're supposed to, conduct yourself in front of a microphone in the studio versus how most people understand how they're supposed to conduct themselves on a microphone on stage.
mm, I understand
Big
what that
difference.
means. I really
Big
do. I
difference.
do. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. So those times I would be basically going to sessions with artists who are rapping on my beats and, making sure I'm there. Like back in those times, it was not a thing about just sending beats out and hope for the best, hope they pick something. It was more a thing about like for example, I remember meeting up with Boy Blue, and this was when he made Main Chick. I remember sitting down with Boy Blue, going to meet up with him in LaSalle, and we sat down at one of his spots, and Jericho was there at the time, also. By the way, yeah, that was yeah. Oh, Jericho, Jericho, I hope this guy's doing good.
I have no idea who that is. First
yo,
person to say that guy's name ever to me.
yo, oh yeah,
Like I said, man, people like blitz through the 2000s when they talk to me. Or
oh
if
man, no
the only
man,
people
there's
who
so
go
much.
into so the only people who go into detail were more the other side of it. So I was on Beat Click and I was doing rap battles and shit over there in the
Yeah,
4 Like
okay,
those
yeah,
dudes, they'll be able to tell me about 2000 to 2010 for a minute because they showed up just
yeah,
to like the events and they were doing their
yeah.
own thing and they would come freestyle a lot and whatever. So there's that side of it. But you're more like actually coaching artists and shit. That's like a whole different realm of stuff that we haven't necessarily encountered. And the way you described it just happened like organically, like you just started doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And I do it now, even in my sessions to this day. To this day, like there are some artists that, I don't want to waste time. I want to make sure that it's A1. Okay, cool. So you want me to be that engineer? Okay, let's go. It depends on the artist. Because some artists, they'll get pissed off if you just stop the recording in the middle of the recording, you know?
Mm.
So, but yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, that's
Yo,
basically what
that
it
would
was. That I
absolutely
just,
frustrate me. I'd be like, yo, let me
yeah,
finish the take and get my fucking practice in before you tell me all this shit.
you're supposed to practice at home. Now
That's
you're
why
on
I
the
don't pay
clock.
for studios, my guy.
Now you on the clock. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to make sure that you A1. You
Sometimes
know,
I like to pay people to smoke a joint on a break, though. And that's my prerogative as the client.
true. No, you're allowed. No, as the client, you're allowed to do whatever you want. But if you're an artist who is minding their wallet,
Yeah.
they're gonna want to get the best
Don't,
bang for the.
on the real, it is a, when I thought about how many times I paid people to smoke weed with them because I wanted to take a break, I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit. Actually, that's actually probably like I've dropped in my life in the ballpark of like $300 to $400 to smoke weed with people.
and that's a small amount.
Yeah.
That's a small amount because I know people who could easily say that they've paid about $1,000 worth of money
J-
to, and that $1,000 is used as smoke time.
just to smoke. I mean, straight up, like you'll be like, here's the context. You do it like because you smoke right before you go in, right? Everybody, you smoke a little
Yeah,
bit, right?
yeah,
You walk in, but now you just smoked a whole bunch because you always smoke a little extra because you're trying to like, I'm gonna try to hold out. So now you're a little too high for a minute, so you talk and waste 10 minutes just blabbering your fucking mouth. Facts, and then
yeah.
which is
engineer
fair
sets
enough.
up is going to take about 5 minutes to set up.
Yeah, and then you do
To
that.
set up the project, and then it's about like 5 minutes of just sitting there listening to the client talk because he's too high and doesn't realize, yo, time has begun, buddy.
And then you get to your rapping and you're finally in the zone. 45 minutes, an hour goes by. You're like, bro, I need to smoke a joint. 15 minutes goes by, back at it. My engineer just mixes the whole time. He doesn't smoke with me. He's just like, go on the fucking balcony. I'm like,
yeah,
do your thing. But that's why to be fair, that's why I moved to like the apartment. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be efficient like that. That sounds like stress. So I built this shit at home, and that's why like I can take 6 hours if I want.
Yeah. COVID forced a lot. Like that's when I started to tell people to start building their own home studios. That's when I built mine.
Okay, that's fresh. I mean, we'll definitely get there, but that's
we'll get there.
No, but even then, like, it's gonna be all over. I like you, Metikulus. It's what we have rapport already. We've had conversations. It's not like I don't know shit about you. But just because I said I understood, though, maybe people don't understand. What would be like a main difference for the people from the As Metikulus on studio mics versus live performance mics? What would be like a Metikulus tip there?
Okay, so boom, I have one of each.
Run it.
Viva, for example, she came by to do, she did the video performance for the Canadian Hip Hop Food Drive.
Yo, straight up.
And so, yeah, so what ended up, that happened in December. And so I had sponsored that, like my company, we'd sponsored that event, and he'd asked me about artists that were, performing. Shout out to Justin Gunderson, you know what I'm saying? It's the dynamic. Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
It's all right. I just did it myself. We're in the same boat.
Right. So yeah, we're 1 for 1 now. So yeah, he had hit me up and I was just like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. And so we ended up sponsoring the thing and I got Viva. Oh, he had asked me about performers and I was like, yo, hit up my girl Viva. So he hit up Viva and then she gave me a couple ideas and I'm like, okay, so we're going to make sure that this performance is on point. So what we end up doing is the performance here at my house. Because now that I have like the studio set up, I'm like, yo, I have the ambience. You know what I'm saying? I have the visuals. I have what's going to make it pop. So she goes, okay, we'll do it. And so we do the thing. And, I doctor up what I got to doctor and I send it in. And it was gold, like it was a lot of fun to do. So what microphone we ended up, I obviously didn't want her to use the studio microphone that I have. I have what is that? It's a Rose NXTA something like that. And I have a SM58 performance microphone. So I was like, yo, I have a performance microphone. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Or what is that, the 58 or the 57?
Of course, the 58. Everyone has the 58. I don't know a single person. Everyone I know has a 58. It's like,
yeah.
Because they're like, hey, they're good. They're affordable enough.
It's a good microphone. It's a good microphone it's a best bang for the buck.
And y'all can afford one.
The best bang for the buck for a performance microphone. And that's regular wired, standard microphone. Everywhere has that specific microphone.
Even Golden Jenny from Norway has the 58. She just said that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I know people who have the 57 and the 58.
But like everyone, Metikulus. We don't all know everyone.
So stop this. I know a few people.
I know like the next wave, and you know both waves. So you know people before the 58.
Yeah, basically. Basically. So yeah, that's what we ended up doing. And we sent in the performance and it was man, I really enjoyed watching the performance, man. Like it was really good. But yeah, that's what the difference is that okay, so the SM58, 57s, all of these microphones are performance microphones. The actual mic is directional. Exactly. So it's You sing in front of it. That's it. The problem that most people have is not now. What happens when rappers pick up a microphone? Nah, where's your okay? Perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. The
Show
rapper
it,
thing.
show that for a second. Now, the problem with that is if the microphone is what is we are supposed to be talking into, you're completely covering it up, which is why rappers sound at performances are always garbage.
Now you want to hold it like here for real.
Yeah,
and you want to
even
make
a little
sure,
higher works.
Yeah, I just grabbed it there, but you want to make sure there's like you can see the black between like your hand and the grill, because if you're touching the grill even, it'll like break up the airflow.
The microphone will pick up your hands movements on the grill.
And it's facts though, like, but yo, also you have to like practice like moving, right? Because if you go like this and your hand goes like that for a quick second, because as you can see, as I'm doing it over here, I'm moving to this mic, and as I move away from this mic, right, you hear me sounding like shit, and then I move in and out and whatnot. But that happens like this as y'all dancing around and stuff too. So I watch a lot of rappers, and you watch the mic, and they're like, bro, bring it back to your face. Seriously, this is a broken microphone. You can use a fucking comb, but like take some time and use. I use this because it's weighted like a mic. And I literally before a set will practice with the mic in my hand, because you want to make sure that like it's like I know
you're comfortable,
but it's also like there's a little bit of like you don't want to like feel that tiredness 3-4 minutes into your song and go, oh shit, maybe I need a little bit more like strength training.
Yeah. The smallest things count though.
Yo,
the smallest things count.
What's up, DJ Overflow Montreal? Welcome.
Hey.
I like to say hi to the Twitch peoples when they come through. Encourage the chat. But everybody here is having a good time. You're a wonderful guest. It's great to have you. We just got to talk about that. So what's the tip for studio mics?
You want to go for warm sound. Warm, dry. That's the best thing. So it's not just about the microphone. It's also about the treatment. If you have, because look, studios are already set up to have acoustics in there, so that way it absorbs and deflects a lot of the sounds. Now, if you happen to be recording in a home studio, well, your home is not set up for sound like that. So you need to, before even worrying about a microphone, you need to make sure that your room set up. You need to make sure that the setup for where your microphone is going to be is properly set up, right? So they have now technology that's for you to be able to do that. They have box guards, which is basically little semi-domes that you can put behind the microphone, right? And that's got foam all on the inside of it, so that way it's starting to deflect the sound. I have one of those here in my house. I also have some foam set up on my walls. You can see in my background and things like that. Like I have some foam on all my walls.
We can see isn't that a guard over there, a mic guard behind you?
Yeah, okay, yeah, perfect. That's exactly the dome. Yeah. That's exactly it. And right, so that dome is like a half circle.
Yo, they're heavy.
Right. Yeah?
They're heavy. They fucked up a mic stand. Like wrecked the mic stand.
They will mash up a microphone stand. I literally so I have a regular microphone stand here, and I tried to set it up on that, and it would always start to topple because of how heavy it is. So I had to say that I was like, yo, how am I going to get this to be to be on point? I started doing some homework, and I found that there were some heavy duty microphone stands. And I said, okay. So I went and I got one online, and no more wobble, it works good. So you want to get one of those. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to get a good microphone, but then you want to check online. They got little something's up in my eye. Oh, hold on.
It's all right. It's the classic moments of Twitch.
Right. All right, we're good. So boom, you want to go online to a site like Chaotica, or you get them even online on like Walmart's on Walmart's app, and they'll send it to your house. This is basically a foam dome that you put over the microphone. So this now shields the sound from everywhere else, and it has a little screen, pop filter screen in the front of the foam dome. So the sound basically is around the microphone does not exist anymore, and you have the sound that's coming in directly, only from the foam.
Mm.
And this plus the guard, you got yourself the equivalency of a home of a professional studio.
That's pretty solid. I just rolled with this
So
Shure thing.